A major aspect of computer science is organizing and maintaining our data. So far, we have learned of one data structure, the list. A dictionary is another helpful iterable data structure that is built into Python. In our natural language, a dictionary has a series of terms and each term has a definition. A Python dictionary isn't much different, but instead of terms, we have keys, and instead of definitions, we have values. In a Python dictionary, the key-value pair is a one-to-one mapping. This means that all keys are unique, and each key points to only one value. Another difference between a natural language dictionary and a Python dictionary is that the keys in a Python dictionary are not sorted and they are stored in an inconsistent order. That means that unlike a list which has a set order, the order of items in a dictionary is undetermined. In a list, we use integer indices to look up values. For example, if we had the list red, green. To extract an item from the list, we would use an integer index. So list at 1 would return green. To look items up in a dictionary, we use the key. The key must be an immutable object. Most often, we use strings. So how do we create a dictionary? While lists are delineated with brackets, dictionaries are delineated with curly braces. So this syntax would create an empty dictionary. Just as with a list, it is possible to add and remove elements from a dictionary, but we will learn how to do that in the next submodule. Alternately, we can create a dictionary that is already populated. In order to do that, we begin, and as before, the dictionary still is delineated with curly braces. Then, each element in a dictionary is a key-value pair. I'm going to use strings as both my keys and my values. My first key is going to be apple, and the value that apple will point to will be red. The second element is going to be grape, and that will point to the value green. My third element is going to be banana, and that element will point to the value yellow. That's the end of my dictionary, so I'm going to close it off with another closed curly brace. So here were two ways to create a dictionary. Now, how do we access the elements? Well, as we said, dictionaries are accessed using the keys. So just like in a list, where the integer index values were placed inside of square brackets, in a dictionary, we would place a key value inside square brackets. And then we see that the value associated with grape is indeed green. So long as you know a key in a given dictionary, you can look up any value associated with the keys that you know. As we said before, the keys in a dictionary must be of an immutable type, but the values can be of any type. Even within a single dictionary, we can have values of multiple types. So we can create a varied dictionary, for example, where our first key is going to be a string, and our first value will also be a string. Our second key is also going to be a string, but our second value is going to be an integer. And our third key will also be a string, which will have a list associated with it, also two strings. And again, we close our dictionary with another curly brace. Just as before, if we are to access the elements in our dictionary, we use our square brace and the key name inside of the square brackets. And it returns to us the value that's associated with the key that we had. And as we see, it works exactly the same if the value is a string as well as an integer. And similarly with our list. So to conclude, a dictionary is an additional data structure that we can use to store information. We saw how to create a dictionary. We can create either an empty one, or we can create a dictionary that's already populated, where we indicate our keys, and then a colon, and then the value associated with each key. And we know that our keys have to be of an immutable type, but our values can take on any type, such as numbers, strings, and lists, as well as many other types of data. And finally, to access data, we use known keys to retrieve the values associated with those keys.